There's a man who's won awards for the work that he has done and all that it affords, such as the knowledge of the horrors committed in our name. They can't stop the message, so the messenger gets blamed. Behind these prison walls, in solitary confinement, in a land of rolling hills and royalty and other such refinement, is someone who is a hero. Well, hello out there. I'm David Rovics, and it is a great honor to be participating in these Sunday concerts for Assange. And one of the main, if not the only, perhaps actually, reason why Julian Assange is in prison in Belmarsh and facing extradition to the United States and a potential 175-year prison sentence here in the U.S. is because of his involvement with the most important activity a journalist could ever do, which is exposing war crimes of the most powerful government and military in the world, the United States. And it seems appropriate that I start this concert by singing about some war crimes that, if Julian were not in prison, he would be eloquently denouncing and exposing. Hear the drones above your head. What were the last words that she said before she joined the thousands dead as the bombs rain down? See the fire in the sky, hear all of the children cry. The tower falls from way on high as the bombs rain down. See the dust rise everywhere. Once it was a building there, then it crashed down from the air as the bombs rain down. Twisted bodies all around, the never-ending buzzing sound, the earthquake shaking all the ground as the bombs rain down. Shattered camps of refugees, necklaces of ancient keys, smell the burning olive trees as the bombs rain down. See the homes, apartment blocks, see the mosques reduced to rocks, feel the awe and feel the shock as the bombs rain down. See the sewage in the street, mixed with blood beneath your feet, before the sonic boom repeats as the bombs rain down. See the darkness of the night, no power for the lights, but the explosions are so bright as the bombs rain down. Nothing left but rubble strewn, nothing rising but the moon, but the next one's coming soon as the bombs rain down. Hear the politicians say there's nothing here to see today. We're punishing Hamas this way as the bombs rain down. I have a child, two children, the ages of Julian's children. One of them is in the next room over here. And maybe she'll drop by while I'm playing, you know, as kids do. Even though she knows she needs to let Daddy do a little recording. I've had the great pleasure of meeting Julian and Stella's children on several occasions. And I wrote this song thinking about what a complex question Stella must have for herself every time she's at a playground with her kids, and another parent asks a common sort of playground parent kind of question like, oh, so how'd you meet your husband, you know? met Stella in the embassy, in the only room for 7 years that he would ever see. Guarded by police, with cops on every street. An unusual situation for the first time you should meet. When Julian met Stella, the time they spent was increasingly within the walls of a little tent, where they could have some privacy from the ever-present gaze, under which he was spending all his nights and days. When Julian met Stella, there was the chance of grace. Perhaps the president would decide to drop the case. They had 2 children beneath the watchful eyes of the Americans and British and all kinds of other spies. When Julian met Stella on Embassy Row, it was before he was abducted and forced to go to Belmarsh prison without a chance to speak, awaiting the extradition that the USA seeks. When Julian met Stella, the folks at the UN and people all around the world spoke out then. This journalist belongs among the free, not in prison for exposing crimes against humanity. When Julian met Stella, I guess it was in 2019 when I was back in London, and I think it was 2019. And I had been outside of the Ecuadorian embassy before that, on my last visit prior to that to London. And I was coming back, and I thought maybe we can do something else to highlight the situation with Julian's outrageous imprisonment. And I called up Niels, and we met up at Belmarsh prison and made a video. And I wrote this song the day before with the idea in mind that the prison would be the backdrop to the video. And then I think it turns out to be a song that works well, whether you have a prison in the backdrop or not. Behind these prison walls, there's a man who's won awards for the work that he has done and all that it affords, such as the knowledge of the horrors committed in our name. They can't stop the message, so the messenger gets blamed. Behind these prison walls, in solitary confinement, in a land of rolling hills and royalty and other such refinement, is someone who is a hero to whistleblowers everywhere, who helped them tell the world of the crimes of Tony Blair. Behind these prison walls, you will find a mortal man. The reason why we know what happened in Afghanistan, when the soldiers of the empire, whose sunset long before, were torturing civilians in their terror war. Behind these prison walls is a part of WikiLeaks, an eloquent orator, but you won't hear him speak. Locked away in silence, one who knows too well how those in power act when there's another war to sell. Behind these prison walls is one who stands accused of exactly what offenses The U.S. has refused to say precisely which, or to try to clear the mist, or to explain how he's not the same as other journalists behind these prison walls. Is a person they deprive of most of the things in life that keep us all alive. A person being tortured as we stand here now for revealing the war crimes. Why, when, where, how? Behind these prison walls, our very right to be informed of what the hell is going on is the teacup in this storm. With knowledge there is power, so the solution by the crown, a 24-hour a day indefinite lockdown behind these prison walls. And thinking about those kids and those playgrounds that they play in without their father. I wrote this song a long time ago, sort of a kids' protest song. I went to play at the playground to do things I like so much. Run with my friends, play make-believe, swing on the swings and such. But this morning I went to the playground and bullies were guarding the swings. They knocked over the slide, dumped out the sandbox, took away all of our things. This playground is run by bullies, and they're all so big and mean. But this playground was made for all of us, and we're gonna change this scene. All of us were scared of the bullies. They were so big and we were so small. Till somebody said if we organized, we could be 10 feet tall. We stood on each other's shoulders, put blankets over our heads. We looked like monsters and we roared like lions, and those bullies ran home and hid under their beds. This playground was run by bullies, and they're all so big and mean. But this playground was made for all of us, and we're gonna change this scene. That playground back, but then we looked across the street, saw the sewage plant belching out smoke, poisoning the ground under our feet. It's giving us all asthma, and the hour is getting late. So we marched across the way, and we blocked that factory gate. 'Cause this world is run by bullies, and they're all so big and mean. But this world was made for all of us, and we're gonna change this scene. This world is run by bullies, and they're all so big and mean. But this world was made for all of us, and we're gonna change this scene. I guess it was after exposing the corruption of the Icelandic banking sector, one of the other massive leaks that WikiLeaks was involved with it had to do with the Iraq war logs and the war crimes committed by the U.S. Military in Iraq, and particularly the footage of the helicopter massacre of journalists and children in Baghdad. That was also the footage seen by some folks in Australia who then felt the need to trespass onto a military base during Australian-U.S. war games. I watched it on the TV. Machine guns fired towards the ground. I watched the people run. Helicopter gunship strafing the street. I watched them lining up the bodies in the Baghdad heat. They say these leaks had consequences, and I must agree. When I saw them fire on the children, it affected me. I thought, what if I were wearing the other shoe? If I had a hammer, what would I do? I am just a person, like anyone. I am just another mother's son. I have no special powers. I cannot fly, not like that helicopter gunship up in the sky, sending all those bullets all around to the journalists and children on the ground. I am just one man, that's very true. But if I had a hammer, what would I do? Sometimes I try to wonder, why should I care? But then the answer seems so obvious. There are people down there. And right here in Queensland, there's an army base. And there's a helicopter gunship just sitting in place. There's a time for watching. There's a time to act. It's just gonna kill more children if it remains intact. I am just one person, but you are too. If you had a hammer, what would you do? If you had a hammer, what would you do? Break down the walls of Belmarsh with a sledgehammer. Wouldn't that be nice? Free Julian Assange. Thank you for listening. See you on the road